Good morning, welcome to a morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on, let me just check. Sorry, just checking that the sound is actually on for you. I do apologise at the beginning of this video. I've just had a message unable to connect to chat. Let's just check that the chat is working. It looks like it is. Can someone just confirm? I know you're on a slight delay, but can you just confirm you can hear me okay? I don't know why it's disconnected. Oh, that's just chat. Hold on, that's okay. That's fine. Right, don't worry. I'll get moving on. Apologies for this at the beginning here. So let's get cracking then. Audio should be okay. So, right, looking at the markets today, let's look at the risk events first. And well, there's not too much out today, even looking at the sort of low level scores of things. I mean, there are things like core durable goods. There is the prelim GDP for the US, but that is the second reading. The first reading is already out. The prelim is the first one's the advanced, then the prelim and the final. These tend to move the markets less, but well, we'll see in this current stage of things, and particularly in the focus of the US. There, as I said, there's core durable goods, which is it's a variable feast, but that the core figure does occasionally, or used to, kick some volatility. Hasn't for a long time, but watch out at 1:30 basically. Pending home sales, not so interested at 3 o'clock, 3:30 natural gas storage. So nothing much this afternoon aside of that. Just that. Yep, there's a few numbers coming out at the same time. Which one will cause the volatility? Well, who knows? And just be aware of that. So when you're trading any of the dollar pairs, right? Before then, we have got an AMPC speaker at 12. I'll just check in due to deliver a speech titled "What Government Bonds Yields Can Tell Us About Future Growth." Okay. Maybe create a fractional volatility there. Let's get on and have a look at these markets then technically. Starting off as ever with the euro dollar, and that's quite a bearish move we had yesterday. Yes, it obviously came down, but it didn't quite make a new high. It's closed below the low there, just erring. It's already sort of triggered the low of that side of things. It isn't the most bullish move at the moment. Now it has run into support back into its weekly pivot. Now this is, for me, it's the way the market's been moving. It's been moving largely positively. So the dailies is in a positive trend here. We did have this butterfly sort of pattern. I was talking about this in our trading room yesterday. It wasn't the best of because of the double bottom there, but either side it was a bit of a weak signal. Now it has obviously triggered and pushed through into that a little yesterday. From where it sits at the moment though, well, it's a push back above the 21, the 4 hourly 21 could be seen as a bit more positive. A break below that, the current lows here, would maybe a continuation. Now we have got the daily pivot. I'm just coming down to the 60-minute here. The daily pivot sits there on a daily looking at 122.12, so it could come as high as that. If it starts breaking down, as I said this morning, well, S1 looks certainly a possibility, and maybe even more. It did yesterday intraday. There was we popped on. There was a wedge pattern. That's what this line is, and it broke that wedge pattern, come up, back, retested, but couldn't hold on. So looking soft, but we'll see. Anyway, the pound. The pound on a daily picture here. The pound has not been particularly strong for a while. It's had a good upward move here, but it's just consolidated in the last few days. When I say a while, it's just not managed to do too much. Here you go. There's the range it's been running in. It's broken the lower side of that. It's by doing so, it has confirmed some lower highs through this sort of area, and that's the key thing here. Now again, I'm just sort of looking at this and thinking, well, okay, we might get a run into that daily pivot. If it does, it might. I'm just looking at whether we'll get a sell back down. The thing is, it's very difficult to read at the moment, and again, we were discussing this yesterday in the room. Just leave it. If it's too difficult to read, just don't try and trade it. Quite an oddity here, the yen. I've been looking at the potential to get back on the long side of the dollar yen, and well, it was pushing through. I left it yesterday. I just wanted to see what the price action is. I'm looking at possibly at around about 109.20 getting long there with a stop below the lows, maybe back to these lows here to be on the safe side. I'll have a measure up and check of things here. It's got to be around these lows anyway, but it's then a bit of buy and hold position. Just need to be a bit wary of this. It's right into its monthly pivot here on the dailies, but really looking to see if it can play up a little bit further now, see if it push up. I'm looking really towards that 110 area. So as the original picture, I got stopped at break even initially as I pushed the stop up, but that's what I'm looking for there. Okay, that's where we are on the yen, and that's what I'm looking at. Aussie dollar continues in this chop. I can't do anything with that, so I'm leaving it. Canadian dollar, it's had quite a bounce here. The Canadian dollar, it's not far away from my stops. If it hasn't actually, yeah, no, I don't think it should have hit them, but it's quite close to stops. Again, when I'm looking at the smaller detail here, and we start coming down, there's cracks in this sort of move that we've had, and yep, we had a test of the monthly S2 was back here. It's bounced off that, and since then, well, now we put this higher low in that came through into yesterday. The higher lows pushed through there. It's running pretty close to those highs now. A break of those highs, to me, it becomes a bit more on the. I would expect more upside. At the moment, yep, it's holding here, and we could see a few of these markets just holding where they are for a little while. But a break back above this area, and I'm not going to be trying to short this for a while. I'll let it work out any retracement it might have. It's been a pretty strong market for a long time. It might still deliver against the downside today. Well, I'm watching it carefully, but I am very aware. I mean, it's got a lot of retail trade. 60% retail traders are long on it. Generally, that it's not massively high, but some may think, well, that's too much. But if it had been 80%, I'd be a bit more happy on the short side. But at the moment, just looking at it technically, it looks like they could be right this time. Okay, that's a CAD. New Zealand dollar yesterday had a shot in the arm. It really pushed up there. Not really managed to do too much beyond that where it got to yesterday morning. It might start pushing out here. It's got this quite bullish looking candle, not quite an engulfing candle, but a bullish candle this morning as we're running into it towards 8 o'clock. But it's a bit slow the last few hours. But again, if these markets start making a recovery, well, the New Zealand dollar itself being on the front foot could get a decent shove up there. Right. That's the majors there. Quick look at Euro Yen. I tend to look at Euro Yen. Sorry if I'm missing any currencies that you might want to cover, but unfortunately the chat for some reason is disabled. Anyway, Euro Yen, looking at it big picture here, it's been one of the better ones in terms of quite decent trends. A lot of the time upside. It's slowing up a little bit, maybe. It's put lower highs in. It's at a point here that, I mean, if it starts breaking this trend line, well, perhaps it's got more upside and maybe even a chase back up to the highs there. So there is that possibility it could push up to the highs. So we'll see what comes of that. Okay, that's pretty much it there. Euro Yen. Okay, futures. Let's have a look at the futures. Been a bit dull yesterday. Look, you see the size of the candles, how they're getting smaller and just lacking any real. You can see it here yesterday. Real momentum behind this move now. Really slowed up here, just taking out the lows there. It's really put a lower high in. It's looking soft, of course. On such consolidation, it could just drift back a little bit, be seen as a bit of a bull flag and continue. That's a difficult one on it at the moment. And well, I've been looking at the sort of bond yields, and they've been pushing all over the place. There's some they're sitting at 1.5. They really fell down quite low yesterday when we saw yesterday, day before, when we saw the euro rallying, and now it's sort of they're still quite low now. It takes the pressure off the US dollar a little bit, but we're not really seeing that coming through into the S&Ps and the currencies at this stage. Maybe we will. Okay, that's pretty much that. S&Ps, gold had a good old run, and yesterday pushed into a new high but couldn't hold on to the gains. Where to now? It's looking bullish still. It still looks bullish. There's nothing really, maybe a hairline cracks coming down the time frame here, but it's put higher lows in at this current stage, and the R1 could be a shot for today. Okay, that's gold, and finally oil. There we go, oil being pushed in. I mean, last couple of days it's really done very little. It's very rangy, very short range of, I say rangy, tight rangy. It's trying to push up a little bit more there, consolidated where it is. Maybe a break of this sort of this area will give it that opportunity to push past those prior highs, but it is slow where it is. The more it sort of rolls off here, the more I do wonder, well, is it going to roll properly? But for now, I'm sitting on my hands. At some stage I'll probably get a swing short on this, but for now I'm just letting it work its own way out there, and at the it looks marginally more bullish than bearish at this stage in terms of the price action that we're seeing here. So that's pretty much it all. Bitcoin, I know you like be looking at the cryptos. I get asked about cryptos regularly. Just quick look at Bitcoin then. Well, struggling into its daily 8 yesterday, couldn't push past that. And consolidating where it is at the moment. More consolidation, more downside. Well, we'll see. It really does need to get a bit of a lift on to do something here. I was looking at the likes of Ethereum yesterday, which pushed up pretty positively, ended up on a good positive bar. Bet that even that sold off so far this morning. We're seeing a similar issue. It pushed up and closed up nearer the top of its bar yesterday, keeping its gains, but it's given back some today. That seems to be the darling at the moment. The rest of the markets are, well, I don't know, Ripple seems to be a bit closer to Ethereum, but Bitcoin here, uncertainty hits the markets. Maybe we've got another wave of selling to come through yet, unless this can actually get a substantial move up. Right, that's pretty much it for me. I wish you a great day. Sorry if hopefully you've heard me okay, and sorry if you haven't been able to ask questions. I don't know why it's disabled, but anyway, I wish you a great one. Bye for now.